Tonight, on The Late Show, sparks fly as Stephen Colbert and Elon Musk clash in a fiery showdown. Their heated debate spirals into chaos, exposing raw tensions and sharp insults. By the end, Musk is booted off the stage, leaving the internet ablaze. The studio lights burn bright as Stephen Colbert leans into his monologue, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. It's April 26, 2025. And tonight's guest is none other than Elon Musk, the tech titan whose every move seems to stir the pot. The audience knows Musk's reputation, his unfiltered takes on everything from free speech to AI, and they're ready for a spectacle. Colbert, sharp as ever, finishes his opening bit with a sly jab at Musk's latest X post about government overreach. The crowd chuckles, but there's a nervous edge to it. They can feel the storm brewing. Musk strides out, all swagger, in a black jacket and a smirk that says he's ready for battle. The handshake is brief, almost perfunctory, and they settle into their chairs. Colbert wastes no time. "Elon, you've been pretty vocal about the government lately, calling it, what, a clown show on X? Care to unpack that for us?" His tone is playful, but there's a glint in his eye, like he's tossing a lit match into dry grass. Musk doesn't flinch. "Look, Stephen, the government's bloated, inefficient, and obsessed with control. They're tripping over their own red tape while the world's moving at light speed. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking." The crowd murmurs, some clapping, others shifting uncomfortably. Colbert raises an eyebrow, sensing an opening. "Everyone's thinking it, huh? That's a bold claim. Sounds like you're auditioning to run the country yourself." The audience laughs, but Musk's smirk fades. He leans forward, elbows on the desk, his voice low and deliberate. "I'd do a better job than the suits in D.C., and you know it. At least I'd get things done." The tension spikes. Colbert, never one to back down, tilts his head. "Oh, so you're the savior now? Funny. I thought you were busy colonizing Mars and tweeting memes." The crowd roars, but Musk's eyes narrow. "I'm building the future, Stephen. What are you building? Jokes?" The jab lands hard, and the audience gasps, a mix of shock and delight. Colbert's smile tightens, but he keeps his cool. "Jokes that land, unlike some of your rockets." The crowd erupts, but Musk doesn't laugh. He crosses his arms, his voice colder now. "You want to talk rockets? Let's talk how your pals in Washington keep trying to clip my wings while I'm dragging humanity forward. The exchange is no longer banter, it's a fencing match, each thrust sharper than the last." Colbert leans in, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Dragging humanity forward? That's what you call buying X and turning it into your personal soapbox?" Musk's jaw clenches. "I saved X from becoming a censored echo chamber. You'd rather have big tech and the government decide what you can say?" The audience is on edge, sensing the conversation veering into dangerous territory. Colbert doesn't let up. "Oh, come on, Elon. You're not some free speech martyr. You're a guy with a lot of money and a lot of opinions. And not all of them are winners." He pauses, then delivers the zinger. "Like that time you called yourself a genius for predicting AI would outsmart us all. Spoiler? It hasn't yet." Musk's face hardens, and the crowd holds its breath. "You think you're clever, Stephen, but you're just a mouthpiece for the establishment. You mock what you don't understand." The accusation hangs in the air, raw and personal. Colbert's eyes flash, and he leans closer, his voice sharp. "And you dodge what you can't defend. Like how your free speech crusade looks a lot like chaos when it suits you." The studio feels like a pressure cooker, the audience, riveted by the escalating hostility. Neither man is backing down, and the air crackles with unspoken challenges. Musk's next words are a gauntlet thrown. "You want to talk chaos, Stephen? Let's talk about the real chaos, the kind your side's been ignoring for years." The crowd gasps, unsure where this is going, but one thing's clear: this isn't just a talk show segment anymore. It's a battleground, and it's about to get uglier. The studio is a live wire, every eye locked on Elon Musk as his words hang like a storm cloud. You want to talk chaos, Stephen? Let's talk about the real chaos, the kind your side's been ignoring for years. The crowd's gasp is a collective inhale, the air thick with anticipation. Stephen Colbert, perched at his desk, doesn't flinch, but his fingers grip the edge of his mug a little tighter. The gauntlet's been thrown, and he's not about to let it lie. Care to enlighten us, Elon? Colbert says, his voice a razor wrapped in velvet. What's this real chaos my side's so blind to? Because from where I'm sitting, you're the one stirring the pot. The audience chuckles nervously, but Musk's not playing for laughs. He leans back, arms crossed, his stare unyielding. Your side, Stephen, loves to pretend everything's fine while the world's burning. Inflation's choking people, borders are a mess, and the media, your buddies, just parrot whatever keeps the machine humming. That's chaos. The crowd split, some clapping for Musk's bluntness, others murmuring dissent. Colbert's eyebrows shoot up, his smile a thin veneer over irritation. Oh, so you're the truth teller now? The guy who tweets conspiracy theories at 3 a.m. is here to save us from the media? That's rich. The jab draws blood, and the audience roars, but Musk's unfazed, his voice cutting through the noise. At least I'm not reading a script someone else wrote. You're a performer, Stephen, not a journalist. You cherry-pick your facts to get laughs. The accusation stings, and Colbert's mask slips. His eyes narrow and he leans forward, voice low and sharp. And you cherry-pick your causes to play hero. You think you're above everyone because you've got billions and a rocket. Newsflash, Elon, the world doesn't revolve around your ego. The crowd gasps, the tension now a living thing, coiling tighter with every word. Musk's jaw ticks, but he fires back. Maybe not, but it's not revolving around your sanctimonious preaching either. You mock what you can't control, and I'm the one thing you can't. The studio feels like it's holding its breath. The exchange is no longer a debate, it's personal. A clash of titans who've shed their public personas. Colbert, sensing the crowd's unease, tries to pivot, but there's venom in his tone. Let's talk control then. You bought X to free it, but it's just your playground now. You amplify what you like, bury what you don't. That's not freedom, that's you playing God. The audience claps, but Musk's laugh is cold, cutting. God? Nah, I'm just a guy who sees through the hypocrisy. You'd rather have a platform where only your side gets to talk. That's the real control. The crowd's on edge, torn between loyalty to Colbert's wit and Musk's raw defiance. Colbert's not backing down, his voice rising. You're not a rebel, Elon. You're a bully with a megaphone. You think you can just steamroll anyone who disagrees with you, but this isn't X. This is my stage. Musk's eyes flash, and he leans in, voice like steel. Your stage? Then why are you so scared to let me talk? Afraid I'll say something your audience can't handle? The challenge lands like a slap, and the crowd erupts, some cheering, others booing. Colbert's face flushes, and for a moment it looks like he might lose his cool entirely. He grips the desk, his voice tight. Scared? I'm not scared of you, Elon. I'm just tired of your self-righteous crusade. You're not here to talk. You're here to preach. Musk smirks, but it's a dangerous thing, all teeth. And you're here to dunk on me for clout. Difference is, I'm fighting for something bigger than ratings. The air crackles, the hostility now a fire neither can contain. The audience is riveted, sensing the breaking point is near. Colbert, his patience fraying, delivers a parting shot. Bigger? Like what, Elon? Your next headline? Because right now all I see is a guy who's about to crash and burn. Musk's smile vanishes, and his next words are a low growl. Keep talking, Stephen. You're about to find out how hot this fire can get. The crowd's stunned. the studio electric with the promise of an explosion, and it's clear this showdown's far from over. The studio is a furnace, the air scorching with the raw hostility between Stephen Colbert and Elon Musk. The audience, frozen in their seats, feels the weight of Musk's growled threat. Keep talking, Stephen. You're about to find out how hot this fire can get. Colbert's parting shot still lingers, his words a spark that's ignited something unstoppable. Bigger? Like what, Elon? Your next headline? Because right now all I see is a guy who's about to crash and burn. The crowd's stunned silence breaks into a nervous murmur, every eye darting between the two men, waiting for the next blow. Colbert, his composure hanging by a thread, leans back in his chair, but his eyes are locked on Musk, unyielding. "Oh, I'm shaking, Elon," he says, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "What's next? You gonna tweet me into oblivion? Or maybe launch me to Mars in one of your exploding rockets?" The audience laughs, but it's a brittle sound, undercut by the tension. Musk's face is stone, his voice low and deliberate. "You're good at playing the clown, Stephen, but you're out of your depth. You want to talk explosions? Let's talk the mess your side's made of this country while you crack jokes." The crowd gasps, the accusation slicing through the room. Colbert's smile vanishes, replaced by a flash of real anger. "My side? You mean the people who actually care about democracy instead of turning it into a tech bro fantasy? You're not saving the country, Elon. You're just buying it." The audience erupts, some cheering, others booing. The divide palpable. Musk leans forward, his voice a blade. "Democracy? You call it democracy when your pals in the media twist every story to fit their narrative? I'm giving people a voice, something you'd never understand." The fight is now a bare-knuckle brawl, no pretense of civility left. Colbert's voice rises, sharp and cutting. "A voice? You're giving people a megaphone for hate and lies, and you call it freedom. You're not a hero, Elon. You're a chaos agent." The crowd's on its feet, the energy chaotic, feeding off the escalating war. Musk's eyes burn, his words measured but venomous. "Chaos agent? That's cute, Stephen. You're the one sitting there, safe in your bubble, while the world's screaming for change. I'm the one actually doing something about it." Colbert's had enough. He slams his hand on the desk, the sound cracking through the studio. "Doing something? Like what? Tanking X's value or picking fights with regulators? You're not a visionary, you're a liability." The audience roars, but Musk's unfazed, his voice icy. "And you're a relic, Stephen. You think your snark's gonna stop the future? You're yelling at a tidal wave." The crowd split, some chanting for Colbert, others shouting Musk's name, the room a powder keg. The host's face flushes, his patience shredded. "A tidal wave? More like a tantrum. You can't handle criticism, so you lash out. That's not leadership, that's weakness." Musk's laugh is harsh, biting. "Weakness? Look in the mirror, Stephen. You're so desperate to score points, you're missing the bigger picture. You're not ready for what's coming." The threat lands heavy, the audience hushed, sensing a line's been crossed. Colbert's eyes narrow, his voice a low growl. "What's coming, Elon? Another one of your stunts? Because I'm not impressed." Musk leans in, his voice a dangerous whisper. "You want to see a stunt? Keep pushing me, and I'll show you one right here." The crowd's breathless, the studio electric with the sense that this could spiral into something physical. Colbert, his control slipping, fires back. "Push you? I don't need to push you, Elon. You're doing a fine job of imploding all on your own." The audience gasps, the air thick with the promise of a breaking point. Musk's next words are, "a fuse, lit and burning." "Imploding? You're about to see what happens when I don't hold back, Stephen." The studio's a heartbeat away from chaos, the confrontation teetering on the edge of something irreversible, and the crowd knows it's only a matter of time before it all blows apart. The Late Show studio is a cauldron of raw energy. The air, searing with the threat of Elon Musk's whispered challenge. Imploding? You're about to see what happens when I don't hold back, Stephen. Stephen Colbert, his control fraying, had fired back. Push you. I don't need to push you, Elon. You're doing a fine job of imploding all on your own. The audience is a live wire, their gasps and murmurs fueling the chaos. Musk's eyes burn with defiance, and the crowd senses this confrontation is seconds from erupting into something no one can predict. Colbert, his face flushed, grips the desk, his voice a blade. Go ahead, Elon. Show us your big stunt. What's it gonna be? Storming off? Throwing a tantrum? Or maybe you'll just tweet about how unfair I am. The crowd laughs, but it's a nervous ripple undercut by the palpable danger. Musk's smirk is gone, replaced by a cold, unyielding stare. You think you've got me figured out, Stephen, but you're playing a game you can't win. I'm not here for your applause. I'm here for the truth. The word truth lands like a grenade, and the audience erupts, some cheering Musk's audacity, others booing his arrogance. Colbert's had enough. He stands, a rare move, his voice booming. Truth? You wouldn't know truth if it hit you like one of your own rockets. You're a showman, Elon, not a prophet. And this show's done with your act. The crowd roars, sensing a climax, but Musk rises too, matching Colbert's height, his voice low and venomous. Your show? You're a puppet, Stephen, dancing, for ratings while the world moves on without you. The studio is a battlefield, the audience split, their shouts a chaotic chorus. Colbert's eyes flash and he steps closer, voice trembling with fury. Move on. You're the one stuck in your own echo chamber, Elon. You can't handle a real fight, so you hide behind your money and your memes. Musk's face hardens, and he steps forward, closing the gap, their faces inches apart. A real fight? You're not ready for a real fight, Stephen. You're just a loudmouth who's run out of clever. The crowd's on its feet, the tension so thick it's suffocating. For a moment it seems like one might swing, the air crackling with the threat of violence. The crew, off stage, shifts nervously, unsure whether to intervene. Then Musk, his voice a growl, delivers a final blow. You want to talk imploding? Look at yourself, Stephen. You're losing this crowd and you know it. The accusation is a dagger, and Colbert's face twists, his patience shattered. Losing? I'm not the one who's about to lose everything, Elon. You're done here. The audience gasps as Colbert points to the exit, his voice thunderous. Get off my stage, now! The crowd stunned, the moment frozen in time. Musk doesn't move, his eyes locked on Colbert, a flicker of something. Defiance, maybe regret, crossing his face. Then with a slow, deliberate nod, he steps back, his voice quiet but piercing. You'll regret this, Stephen. The world's watching. He turns, striding off stage, the audience erupting in a mix of cheers and boos as he disappears into the wings. Colbert stands alone, chest heaving, the crowd's roar washing over him. He forces a smile, but it's strained, his voice unsteady as he addresses the audience. Well, folks, that's one way to end an interview. The laughter is hesitant, the room still reeling. He sits, smoothing his tie, and pivots to a lighter topic, but the weight of the moment lingers. Backstage, whispers spread among the crew, and on X, the clip is already viral. Posts exploding with reactions, some hailing Colbert's stand, others slamming him for silencing Musk. As the show wraps, Colbert's triumph feels hollow. He'd won the battle, but the war's far from over. Musk's parting words echo in his mind, a warning of consequences yet to come. Yet, in this moment, the stage is his, the crowd's applause a fleeting victory. The lights dim, the cameras cut, and the internet burns, but Colbert knows he's drawn a line, and there's no going back.